What's going on, y'all? So yeah, definitely making some videos today. This is going to be one about even Dreamcast guy admitting that the PlayStation State of Play was disappointing. You see his headline right here. What was that PlayStation State of Play reaction? And there's a lot of people that are being honest about it. And I have to give credit to people when they're being honest about how they feel instead of just kissing the corporation's ass, right? Because whoever's doing bad, if I really feel like that, I'm going to say something, right? I'll criticize them on that because professional criticism is needed in this industry more than ever. Not being a loser, not sending death threats, not trying to dox people. Like you see some of the stuff that's happened recently on Twitter, not saying dumb stuff, bringing people's kids into it. It's just some dumb stuff I see where I'm like, there's a difference between enjoying entertainment, having, a good amount of acting. Obviously, I'm very genuine over here as well, doing stuff like I do now. You guys see me entertaining and keeping it between us, right? Now bringing people's family members into it and all that stuff. It's like, come on, man, grow up. When you're doing that now you're just being a 14-year-old moron to me. So yeah, that type of stuff I just cannot stand. And because he's being honest about it, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a like. I mean, he has plenty anyways, but let's go ahead and get into this and let's see what he has to say. But yeah, of course, that was disappointing. I mean, we got no Ghost of Yote, we got no Wolverine, we got nothing about Heretic Intergalactic or whatever the hell it's called, that Naughty Dog game with the bald-headed Jada Pickett looking chick. And then Tatiana Gabrielle, actually, she looks good in real life, but what they're doing with that, it's like, come on, man. If it was me, I'd be like, look, I'd at least give gamers an option to put on some hair. Like, here's some hairstyles in the salon, right? You know what I mean? Not just enforce that. It's of like, so you think this is what the average male wants? No. And you're trying to enforce that. So we have to see more of it. Maybe they may have some hairstyle options. We'll see. But would they have her doing all of that? I'm like, okay, man, whatever, bro. Uh, Not saying no males out there are like that, but we know that's a niche audience. But let's get into this. And yeah, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast guy here, and today we're talking about that state of play that just finished because I live streamed it, and chat was not happy. I saw a sea of L saying it was the worst state of play of all time, saying it was disappointing. In fact,
No, there's been worser ones than that. No way. I mean, I don't, I don't like myself say that I could have ever watched any state of play that's also a rip off of Nintendo's format. I don't think I've ever had an experience where I could say, man, that was really good. All of them are all mediocre. It's like, what are you doing, man? Microsoft's doing better than you, and they are at least making improvements, right? They're not making improvements. It's like, what the hell was this? It seems like you just grabbed a whole bunch of stuff together and thought that you'd be showing off a bunch of other people's games that we've been knew about, majority of them, and are going to other platforms. It's like, what is this, man? What do you have to show? You know what I mean? No.
one of the top comments I saw is the guy said, I'm so glad I watched this state of play because I finally want to buy a PC. But let's talk about it because I don't think it was all bad. I think there were 2 or 3 games of the 20 they showed that do look fantastic. But
Yeah.
they were kind of drowned out by a lot of stuff that just made me ask, what are we doing here? Like, we know what Sony is actually making. We know there's games coming up like Wolverine. We know they're doing Ghost of Yote. We know, obviously, we're getting things like Intergalactic, the next Neil Druckmann game and stuff. But this constant veil of secrecy, like, why was Ghost of Yote not here? But let's talk to it. Let's go through all the different games, talk about the ones that look good and bad. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So, what I did here is I
Water in my mouth.
pulled up Wario 64. He put all
Yeah,
the games we saw here in nice order of what we got a chance to see. It opened up with a big gameplay reveal for Monster Hunter Wilds. We've been seeing a bunch of this. There's actually been multiple betas now. This game dropped.
That shouldn't have happened. We got to experience the beta. There's another beta coming. We've known about it. We've seen so many presentations. It just felt forced. And that's the thing you're going to open with, because you're supposed to open the show and pull people on the edge of their seats immediately. And it's like they dropped the ball immediately with that. It's like, you didn't need to advertise this game. There was no need for that. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like it's like you don't know what you're doing and you have nothing to really show. It's pretty obvious, definitely without those live service cancel games.
In 2 weeks. This is the kind of stuff I don't like at State of Plays or Nintendo Directs or Xbox Developer Directs. Just when it's like, we know this game is already coming out. I've already got it pre-ordered. You've probably got it pre-ordered. Anybody who's going to play this is already playing in the betas and stuff. But hey, in case you didn't know about what's about to be the biggest game on the entire planet, there it is. Oh, a new Shinobi game's coming out. It's 2D. It's got a hand-drawn art.
I'm excited for that actually.
This looks pretty dang cool, but a lot of this state of play felt like it had a bunch of indie vibe games, and some of them are good, like Shinobi. A lot of them weren't. Hey, new Sonic racing game. It's called Cross. Looks pretty good. I've liked the last couple Sonic racing games. I am going to be trying to get into this network tests.
I'll play Mario Kart 9. No thanks.
So, hell yeah. But then a lot of this stuff, a new Digimon game? Okay. We saw a lot more of
I'll play the new Pokemon game and the new one's coming.
Lost Soul Aside, and I've been a fan of Lost Soul Aside and other glances of it. This one, much less so. This has such a thick anime vibe to it that to me, I'm kind of bouncing off it. Anime Dark Souls at this point has been done multiple times by multiple games. Yakuza is about to come out. It's got a ton of DLC, beat 'em up crossovers and stuff, and yeah, I like Yakuza, but we already knew about that game.
Multiple times.
Splitgate 2. It's just Split. If you never played this, it's like Halo 3 crossed with Portal. So it's got tight shooting, but the ability to create entrances and exits. And I feel like a lot of these games, it's not even that they're bad. Splitgate 2 is going to be great, but I feel like a lot of these reveals weren't in depth enough to kind of get why we should be excited. Like Borderlands 4. Randy Pitchford had to come out and be like, hi, I made Borderlands, and
they're gonna do a Borderlands state of play. It's like, what do you mean? That's a multi-platform game. Like that's where I feel like it's like you're just trying to fill in the blanks, and it's pretty bad. I have to say.
had a thumb drive. Hey, look at this game. I will be thankful the Borderlands 4 trailer did not have any dialogue in it. I feel like most fans, thought Borderlands 1 was funny, Borderlands 2 was absolutely hysterical, and Borderlands 3 was a raging dumpster fire. So
it was a good game, but yeah, definitely was something missing. But no, what's dumpster fire is Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
I kind of appreciate the fact that I'm a little bit afraid that Borderlands 4 is still going to be filled with cringy Marvel humor, stuff of like, I moved that with my freaking mind, for spoken style jokes. This trailer, even when it did look kind of fun, because it looks like Borderlands.
I make fun of his saliva talking,
It's so short, you can't really get the vibe of like, hey, here's why you should be excited about it. They did also announce that they're doing a separate state of play coming up dedicated to Borderlands 4, which I feel like that was such a bad mistake. Like, you're currently airing a very bad state of play, and you're like, oh, there's another state of play coming up that's also probably not going to be great. Feels like going on a bad date, and they're hyping you up for the next, even worse date. Oh, God. Okay, let's keep going here. Split Fiction coming out March 6th. Everything they've ever done. This studio is fantastic. It's the people that did stuff like A Way Out and It Takes Two. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But, we already knew about it. Okay. Here is a good encapsulation of why I feel like a lot of people did not care for it. So Directive 8020 is a new game by Supermassive. They make all the interactive horror movies, like the Corey and stuff like that, right? So this is their next project, and it's an interactive horror movie, but this time in space with a alien pathogen that's hyper-evolving people. But what they're showing isn't really gameplay. Like, in the Supermassive games, they're pretty much interactive horror movies, but you can walk around and interact with stuff or have optional dialogue trees that cause people.
Yeah, bro, nobody was interested in it. I understand. I kind of felt like, it's like, what are you doing here? You're trying to give me some like soulless zapped Dead Space experience that did not move me whatsoever because you just didn't affect me. I just felt like it's like, what are we doing here? Why even waste money on that? It's not going to do well.
People to live or die and stuff. But they didn't show that. They showed basically like the opening cutscene of it. And I don't know, that doesn't really sell me about how this is a game. Or I guess more specifically, why does this get me excited about the PlayStation 5, right? What about this is PlayStation 5 state of play worthy? A lot of this stuff just felt like, okay, another Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, a little indie horror game with like freaking art that's very evocative of Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, that's pretty rad. I don't know. A lot of this stuff to me looked downright boring. I felt like a lot of this.
Respect. See, he's being honest about it. You know, I don't want to be an asshole, but there was this one guy, and I had to say this, y'all. Um, he posted this. Great job, PlayStation. This was a great state of play. I'm giving the show a 9.5 out of 10. Even D-Batch said, oh my God, stop it. This is what I said. Serious IQ issues detected. Guys, I had to do it because I'm like, what do you mean 9.5 out of 10? What are we talking about here? What did I miss? All multi-platforms and a remaster? Total $90 plus tax. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, that's an 8 out of 10. Very graphically impressive games. Yeah, you must. Oh, it's this guy. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to know how their brains work.
Was bad until we got to the end.
You know what's so funny too, guys? This we have to do this. Let's go. I pulled this up before, but I have to do it again. There's even other threads too, by the way. Geoff Keighley asked, right? 77,000 people voted. Tell me why nobody gave it an A. These are just ponies right here, but the majority said a D, and a C. There's other threads to do the same thing. I've seen them. IGN, all of them. They all have like a D plus popular vote and then C after that. I could understand a C. That's reasonable. Even I would say, okay, because some of those games that were decent, I would say C. But I would say C minus if you asked me, right? Or D plus. So that says a lot.
And stuff starts to pick up. Onimusha 2 Remastered is coming out here in May. Super excited about that. Here was probably, of the 3 games that really blew my mind, this was one of them. They revealed...
It looks kind of like they kind of need to optimize it a little bit more, though. But I'm obviously excited for Onimusha Way of the Sword. But we saw gameplay of that, and we saw reveals multiple times. It's been shown. They even had an interview with that and everything. And then they kind of like just redo it again and kind of clipped out. I feel like they clipped out the gameplay that the Capcom could have shown, and they just wanted to put it in the state of play to promote it. But it's like, that's also coming to all platforms. You know what I mean? But obviously, I'm supporting that game.
New stuff about the new Onimusha game. I'll admit, this was by far my biggest surprise. I figured that because we're about to get Monster Hunter Wilds, they wouldn't want to like hype up a different game. You know, I figured this is Capcom. They want everybody focused on Monster Hunter, but this looked great. It's the new Onimusha. It has a system where you can actually pick things up. It showed them throwing these blankets can get thrown onto the Oni. You can throw objects. You can cut them up. There's all sorts of, looks like body destruction technology. I'm a big fan of Onimusha. This looks really, really good, but that's coming out in 2026, so too excited about playing that anytime soon. Next up was the leaked Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer. Turns out the trailer was real, of course, and here
Kojima's not there in his team. You could tell. This is kind of like, I don't know, like I when I think of Metal Gear Solid, like, and just all that type of stuff is just forced to kind of make it look like it's okay. But I'm not excited for this game. It's the first time I felt that about a Metal Gear game. I don't feel any soul from it. It just has like the visuals of a next gen Metal Gear, but it's like, eh.
Here it was in the state of play, just like we all expected. Next up, Hell Is Us. This was a pretty decent trailer, like aesthetically, but they didn't show us any combat. This is basically like technological Dark Souls.
Yeah.
They showed us zero fighting. They literally just showed the guy walking around in empty cities and looking at obelisks and stuff. And that seemed a bit like an odd choice. Lies of P DLC, Dreams of Another coming out. Whatever the hell this is supposed to be. Definitely looks like an acid trip game. Oh, yeah. Days Gone Remastered. Oh, God. Isn't this what people...
Don't get me started with that, because we could have been having a Days Gone 2 trailer there, right? Story trailer or something. But no, let's throw them on a live service game, cancel it, and then let's fill in the gap and just update the pixels on Days Gone 2, which you could do on PC and play in max settings, and let's slap a $10 price tag on it. They're so anti-consumer. I don't get how the Sony fanboys just cannot wake up to that shit, and they need to fight against it.
people have been begging for.
Microsoft gives you free upgrades.
And so the new content is not extra stuff, really. It's basically a speedrun mode. They put in a battle arena. They said, oh, it's going to be 4K, 60 FPS. It's got a PS5 Pro upgrade with even more zombies on screen. I mean, yeah, I like Days Gone decently enough.
I got a platinum on
I
it.
think that's pretty interesting, but I feel like this state of play, it kind of highlighted how little ideas, how little excitement Sony seems to have for PlayStation. Like, hey,
See, I like that he's being honest. See, let's just admit it, guys. Let's give Dreamcast guy credit for coming out and being intellectually honest. Props for that. Of course, I got my little, slithering humor towards him, but at the end of the day, I respect him because of that, and I'll even give him a sub because of that. Because I like to keep up with his content anyways. He's not being a corporate shill unlike Reforge Gaming. You know what I mean? So,
here's our
who I watch
PlayStation
too,
Plus
but
games. This stuff to me feels like filler of, hey, we don't even know how to fill up a 40-minute presentation, so let's talk about our back catalog. Okay, now we're getting to the stuff that's actually good. Okay, so a lot of the stuff isn't great. This, though, the closeout and this, Tides of Annihilation.
that's another Chinese game. China, as I told people, the era of China is around the corner. So expect some good games. Not gotcha garbage, but this actual video games, and I'm into it. Oh yeah.
Now, it's hard to tell what this game is going to play like.
Mm-hmm.
In some of the scenes, she's climbing monsters the size of like a city. And it very much reminds me of like Shadow of the Colossus. And it's voiced by the lady who plays Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3. So I love that actress. Her getting possibly a Dark Souls style game or a God of War style game, that would be very cool. But Tides of Annihilation, this definitely has my attention. I kind of wish we knew more about it. It's coming out right now. We don't even have a release window. Next up, they showed Metal Eden. I could not tell what this game is about. I think you're like a cybernetic soldier with cyber sickness.
Yeah.
We got a cyberpunk ripoff, Mind's Eye, by Leslie Benzie. This is coming out in the summer. It definitely just looks like cyberpunk.
But why would I want that when GTA's around the corner?
Looks like Sony Cyberpunk. And I don't even think this game looks bad. It just looks like very AA masquerading as AAA. If this turns out to be mind-blowing, I'll be very happy about it. But Mind's Eye. All right. The final project is one we got nothing about. Absolutely nothing about. But we know who's making it, and we got 10 seconds of a guy standing up, looking at a clip. This is actor Raul Coley, who I love a lot. Single-player IP, and it's by the developers of Returnal. Sounds like it's basically going to be Returnal 2. It's called Saros. It's a guy who's on a planet that's stuck in a time loop, and every time he does the time loop, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's Returnal. And I'm fine with that because I loved Returnal. I love Housemarque a lot. So Housemarque doing a new game, I'm definitely on board with it. But why dedicate time if it's going to be a 10-second trailer? It's not really giving us any information about it. It's not showing us any combat. It's not showing us any...
It's for the Sony fanboys to feel good about something, to talk about something, but I get what he means. I'm like, whatever. The Returnal didn't even sell that well.
Flash reveals.
Good game, though.
It's too basic to get hyped. Now, I'm not mad about what isn't there. Yeah, there have been some talks about a Bloodborne remastered. Yeah, that wasn't there. Or a God of War Classic Collection. Yeah, that wasn't there. I'm not sad about what wasn't there. I'm sad about the fact that, in general, this was just not a fun state of play. I really wish they would show us and actually talk about Ghost of Yotei. Show us some combat, show us some gameplay, show us some stuff that basically says, hey, here's why we decided to go in such a different time period and character direction than Ghost of Tsushima. Sony's silence will always baffle me. But how did you feel about the PlayStation State of Play here on February 12th? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you could, please give this video a like.
So there we have it. We had to highlight somebody who really does promote Sony a lot and always has Xbox is dead just too much. And it's good to keep up with them. That's why I subbed to him, even to Reforge, just to see what they're doing to get some more entertainment going for you guys. And that's pretty much it on that. He was honest about it. And that's good to see because he has a huge influence. So people don't just go along with nonsense. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Good video. I'm sorry that you didn't feel that way about the state of play. But yeah. All right, y'all. Peace out. Ponies, sit down. Don't you say nothing positive. We all know that it wasn't all that. Sit down.